Coppinger's going to take it right foot to Coppin. Oh! Doncaster Rovers have done it!
Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, Aaron John here for Forever Football DRFC, your Doncaster Rovers fan channel, and welcome to this transfer analysis video. And I'm not going to lie to you guys, I was thinking about doing this tomorrow rather than tonight because I've had a couple of drinks. I'm not going to lie to you, I did think I wasn't going to be in the best mental capacity because I'm quite a lightweight. So I'm trying to keep focused for this, but I should be alright. But I did feel a little bit tipsy after tonight. But yes, we've got a brand new goalkeeper, Jonathan Mitchell. Now, there's been some interesting reaction to this, and when I say interesting, I mean interesting. Before we get started, guys, though, make sure you do like, comment, subscribe, click the notification bell so you never miss a YouTube video. I will talk about the Rovers Twitter account, how, you know, the tweet's been deleted, and, you know, I'm going to take all the information in this video will come from the Free Press article, because Rovers deleted the official tweet about him signing, or haven't announced. Actually, no, they haven't not announced him officially. They just haven't they just, you know, didn't bring in a tweet, because Free Press put it up, and they put Rovers put the tweet up about Mitchell's quote, like his statement for him signing. But they deleted the official tweet over the couple of hours that it went live, where it said that Rovers have signed Jonathan Mitchell on an 18-month deal. And again, another 18-month deal. It goes 50-50 each way. When you play devil's advocate, you know, it goes either one way where it's smart and you know, you don't really judge them on the first 6 months. You judge them over a full season. But on the other hand, 18 months where you're trying to build a team long term, it isn't exactly trustworthy, shall we say, on paper. But you play devil's advocate, you look at either side. But let's go through the Free Press article then and see what is happening. Then we'll go through the club's official statement about Mitchell's comments since arriving, because obviously the official tweets announcing the signing hasn't come out. It's been deleted for some reason. I've got a feeling about that one. I'll talk a bit about that in a moment. But so Doncaster Rovers have completed the signing of goalkeeper Jonathan Mitchell on an 18-month deal. The 27-year-old saw a short-term contract with Hartlepool expire earlier this month, though he had been in talks about extending his stay at Victoria Park. Rovers boss Gary McSheffrey confirmed to be hoping to be bringing in a keeper to provide backup to Lewis Jones, and also provided the academy graduates with competition. Mitchell made 8 appearances for Hartlepool with Ben Killip the preferred option between the sticks. A one-time England under-21s international, he started his career with Newcastle United but did not make a senior appearance. He switched to Derby County in 2014 and spent 5 years at Pride Park, making 5 senior appearances. He had loan spells at Luton, Oxford, Shrewsbury and most successfully Northampton Town, where he made 42 appearances last season. He has 95 senior appearances to his name and he's eligible to feature in the Rovers squad for tomorrow's trip, subject to EFL approval, against MK Dons. So this is a weird one. For me, this is a weird one. I don't want to say that this signing was coming, because for a couple of reasons. One, I knew he was part of Graham Younger's agency, or the agency that was involved with Graham Younger as well. But I really didn't expect him to sign, especially, you know, Gary McSheffrey coming out yesterday or the day before saying about, you know, potential options for goalkeepers and, you know, someone to provide cover for Lewis Jones and someone that could actually challenge him for the #1 spot. You know, I really didn't expect Jonathan Mitchell's name to come up. Secondly, nothing against the lad, because I'm not gonna write him up for a ball's been kicked. That's just not the kind of fan I am, and I hope he does kick on at this club. But it doesn't fill me with a lot of confidence when you get Northampton fans, Huddersfield. I think the Huddersfield fans as well. I think there was Huddersfield fans as well that were saying, or some multiple fan bases, Newcastle fans, even Northampton, where he was quoted to have his most successful spell. Even Northampton fans, quite a few of them, were saying that he's one of the worst goalkeepers they've had at that place. And that's just fan opinion. That's just their, you know, that's just their thought process. But for me, on past experience, it doesn't fill me with a lot of confidence, but I think it ticks a couple of boxes. He's aging. He's 27, still young for a goalkeeper, but he has a lot of experience at lower league level, League One, League Two, and Championship as well. I think that overall, like I said, an 18-month deal can be either smart or untrustworthy about building a long-term team. I think that, I want Jonathan to do well. I really, really do. But on previous reaction and previous performances, and I've seen highlights of this guy, I just don't know. I don't know. Something about it just makes me feel a bit uneasy. But I do want him to do well. Do not get me wrong about this. This isn't me slagging him off. This is me saying I want him to do well. Past clubs, he's not really done his best. I hope he can do it here. That's my hope with this guy. Because he is experienced. He can be a bit of a mentor to people. And he can take what he's learned and give it to the younger players. So you've got to think bigger picture with this signing. But on previous recognition from other fan bases, it does not sound good. And the goalkeeper situation is a bit of a bizarre one. It's like they've changed the strategy on the goalkeeper yet again. I do have a counter argument for that, but that'll come later. But the main point is, the original thought process from McSheffrey and the recruitment team was that Jones would be number one, Bottomley number two, even though he's not ready. And we'd use the emergency loan if we need to. Now we've brought in that cover, and someone who could challenge, apparently, Lewis Jones to his number one spot. Is this pushing Ben Bottomley out the door? It makes me think long term. Does this mean Ben Bottomley's out the door on loan next season, or for the rest of this season, or both? For me, it could answer that question. I don't know what anyone else thinks, but yeah, I think it sort of asks a lot of questions. I mean, you see the reaction from here, just looking at the quote tweets. Northampton fan quote tweeted saying, "I send my condolences to every Doncaster fan." It's all cobblers to me, a Northampton show, I guess, saying, "We're about to ask Neil to go on the Donny podcast to talk about their new signing, 18-month deal." So I'm guessing they're taking the mick out of that. Someone actually said, "Good signing, bottom of League One. This signing should ensure that they stay there." So that's also, I believe, come from a Northampton fan. So, interesting opinions. And, Liam Hodes actually quote tweeted his own tweet about the signing and said, "Think this is about as sensible as it gets when you've decided who your number one is. Cover needed, cover got." So I think he's got a point here where it's like, I feel like he's not going to challenge number one spot. I think he's going to be the cover for Lewis Jones to be number one. And that says to me that Lewis Jones will be number one long term, which, for a homegrown talent, and I like to see us developing our homegrown talent, I want to see Lewis Jones be number one. Yes, his goal kicks go out for throws sometimes. Yes, his distribution's not always amazing. There is times where he has been commanding. There is times where he has had communication. Most of the goals, especially in the past few matches, have not exactly been his fault. It's been individual errors from the people in front of him. So, as long as you build a solid foundation around him, Lewis Jones could be, could work with a decent squad. And, Liam Hoden said it on his live Q&A tonight, this is going to be a whole new look squad next season. I can guarantee you of that because, it's League Two football. Some of these players will not stay for League Two. I can imagine John Bostock wanting to leave. I can imagine Tom Anderson possibly leaving. I can imagine Okanabiri wanting to leave, especially with all the setbacks. He wants to go to a club where you don't get any setbacks, injury-wise. And, there's been a whole thing about John Taylor and Niall Mason and coming out questioning player welfare at the football club. When you see things like that, especially Okanabiri's setbacks, and Cameron John's another one. All his setbacks. I've got no doubts that Fajiri and Cameron love the club, but how much do you bet on them leaving if we go down to League Two, which is looking like a foregone conclusion at the moment? So, it doesn't feel like an amazing situation, but I think, nothing against Jonathan, but I think this signing hits home about how unattractive we are as a football club. And that might be brutal to say, and the club might be watching this and think, oh, we've been a bit harsh there. I'm not being harsh, I'm being brutally honest. And, you know, Liam said it in his live Q&A. I think this is the stamping point for how unattractive we are at the moment because of where we are. And I think this hits home. And it came out with an article a couple of days ago, and I was absolutely fuming at that. Especially going into this window, we said we're going for experience, we're going for people that want to stay here and want to, you know, pick up the relegation fight and get us to safety as soon as possible. And now in the last couple of days, in the last 24, 48 hours, we are saying that we are looking at the bigger picture now with signings. We're not going to think short term with this, which says to me, I don't know about anyone else, but this said to me, we've written off relegation. We've written off this season. We're going to go relegated. And we're going to try and bounce back from League 2 next season. And Gavin Baldwin said at the start of this season, 2022 is the year of aspiration. I certainly wasn't banking on League 2 promotion back to League 1 being the aspiration. That should not be the aspiration for Doncaster Rovers Football Club. He might not have wanted it to be. You know, that might not have been what he wanted to mean. But now it's falling in place for fans to jump on his quote from the start of the season and spin it, give it the good spin. What Gavin Baldwin and the recruitment team and the players and everyone involved with Doncaster Rovers has done, because of the screw-up this season, they've given fans the opportunity to jump on Baldwin's quote, spin it, and say, is this what you meant by aspiration in 2022? Promotion from League 2 to League 1. Because that's not aspiration. And I agree, that is not aspiration. We are a League 1 club fighting around about playoffs, from mid-table to playoffs to get into the Championship. That is where the level we should be. That is the level we should be building towards. Not League 2 football. You know, we're not a League 2 club. You know, we've only spent one season back in League 2 since 2005. Since 2005. We have spent one season in League 2, and that was the 2016-17 season, just 5 years ago. And what have we learned getting relegated and trying to bounce back to League 1 again? In that 5-year period, we had one playoff campaign under Grant McCann. He leaves for Hull. After saying to the players, if you don't want to be here, then leave. He goes and leaves. We're left with 6 contracted players. Darren Moore comes in, rebuilds the squad. Null and void season, finish 8th. Last season, we get to a point where we could be promoted. Darren Moore leaves for Sheffield Wednesday. We lose our best player in Ben Whiteman, who, in my opinion, I wouldn't say post-Coppinger era, but I'd say the previous decade, he's been one of the best players, or arguably the best player, you know, we've got. He goes and leaves for the Championship as well as Darren Moore a couple of months later. Andy Butler comes in. Nothing to do with him, by the way. The players didn't want to play for him. We fell apart. And then this season, Rich Wellens comes in with a plan. Well, what seemed like a plan. It didn't work. We shot down the league. Wellens gets sacked. Sheffield's left to pick up the pieces with a squad with players that don't look like they care. Big man children, big moaners. And what am I thinking, you know, and these new signings coming out saying, I jumped at the chance, Doncaster Rovers, I jumped at the chance to be here and to be part of the team and be part of the squad. If I'm being brutally honest, if I was Jonathan, if I was Ollie, if I was Kieran, if I was Josh, if I was any other new signing coming in January, I'd be thinking, what in the bloody hell have I walked into? Because relegation is written on. Gavin Baldwin said nearly halfway through the season, we're not in a relegation battle. Gavin, mate, you're a nice guy. We've known each other quite a while now. In my opinion, to be brutally honest, mate, we are in a relegation battle. In fact, I don't want to write it off, but we are pretty much all but mathematically down. As if we don't pick up surprising results against top teams, we're going down. It's as simple as that. On Jonathan Mitchell, though, I really hope he comes good. I really do, because he deserves the chance to turn his career around. Even at 27, like I said, that's young for a goalkeeper. So I want him to turn this situation around. I want it to be at Doncaster Rovers, especially in League 2. I hope he turns his situation around. You know, especially if we go down to League Two. I hope he turns his situation around. But previous recognition from other fan bases and fan bases where he used to be at says that we're not going to turn it around with him in the squad. But I hope to be proved wrong. And I really hope Jonathan comes good, because I'm sure there's a good keeper in him somewhere. I like to see the good in everything. But there we are, guys. Thank you very, very much for watching this video. Thank you for sticking with me during all that. I'm surprised I've actually stayed awake through all this. I'm surprised I haven't fallen over by now with how much I've had to drink tonight. But thank you very much, guys. That is going to be it. My name is Aaron Chandler from Throw Football DRFC. Keep living the Rovers life, and that, my friends, full-time. Rovers side die. Thank you very, very much. If you're ever depressed about Doncaster Rovers, grab a couple of John Smiths. They did me some good. Rovers till I die!